Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for May 2022. So on May 30th, we are going to wrap up the month's astro events with the new moon in Gemini taking place at 9 degrees at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have to break it down. First of all, this is the very first Gemini energetic moon that we've had in 2 years. Reason being, the true nodes of the moon were in the Gemini and Sagittarius axis for the past 2 years since we have moved into the Taurus and Scorpio axis. So we had rewind to 2 years ago where we were bombarded with all of this new information. All of these details that have kind of set the foundation down for the Great Awakening. That Gemini energy was trying to open up our minds, kind of give us a new perspective, a new approach on some of the details, some of the information coming through. While the Sag axis that rules over our higher self and our belief system was really tested by this new information, by these new perspectives emerging. And through the Great Awakening process, we really did kind of dabble in having to break down and let go of old belief systems in order to bring new information in, to see how we align with that, to reveal a brand new truth. Since the true nodes are now on the Taurus and Scorpio axis, we get to experience the Gemini and Sag energy as normal moon events. So this new moon in Gemini at 9 degrees is fairly young, meaning we are experiencing this in the very first decan of the Gemini energy. And at 9 degrees, we are kind of seeing where a brand new system, a brand new cycle, a brand new idea, a brand new path, a choice, a decision is now emerging. So typically speaking, a new moon is a time where we're sitting in the dark phase of the moon. There's no illumination in the sky. That's why, emotionally speaking, we kind of move inward. We kind of have to do a reflection. We have to see the not so nice thoughts and feelings coming up and get illuminated in our inner realm, because that's the only light that we have to depend on right now since the sky is in her dark phase. And we have to sit with this information. We have to debate it out. Very much a Gemini vibe. Let's talk about the Gemini energy. First of all, it's an air energy ruling over our thoughts, our perspective, information, details, how it is that we're bringing details in, information in from our physical realms, how we're processing it in the lower octave of our mental plane, applying logic, applying practicality, really kind of taking a good look at the pros and cons, both sides of the coin. It's a mutable energy, which means that it is very adaptable. It is very quick to change depending on the information, the perspective, and the direction that we are kind of getting validated with, let's call it that. Since this is the first new moon since eclipse season, first of all, we're bringing the new moon in Taurus, that solar eclipse that we had, to a close. That whole lunar cycle is now closing out, and now we are initiating the new moon in Gemini energy. Since we've entered into Gemini season, we have really brought a lot of information into our mental planes from our unconscious self and from the wild card energy that got thrown at us through eclipse season. We have to keep in mind that Mercury, who rules over Gemini, is retrograde and is actually retrograde now in Taurus energy. So a lot of the information that has been thrown at us coming from the external realm that we don't have control over has been acting as a trigger, has acting as an activation within our unconscious or subconscious self in order to illuminate for us ideas, perspectives, thoughts that we have to review because we're in a retrograde. We have to reevaluate them. We have to revise our plans. We have to reanalyze the thoughts and the feelings coming up within us. We have Pluto the great transformer, also retrograde in Capricorn, working very closely with Mercury, who is retrograde, to unearth and uncover these negative narratives written in, hardwired in our brains. We are also uncovering self-destructive narratives, self-destructive behaviors, self-sabotaging energies that many of us have picked up from our early years where conditioning from our authority figures are concerned. So since we entered into Gemini season, especially after the wild card energy thrown at us through eclipse season, we are really been kind of positioned to debate the pros and cons of a certain choice, a certain decision, a certain option, a certain path. Because we're in retrograde, because we just got out of eclipse energy, things have been highly confusing, kind of chaotic in our inner realms. That's why we're having a hard time trying to even identify within ourselves what it is we're thinking, what it is we're feeling. The chaos, the craziness is 100% necessary in order to prepare us for the clarity that is coming with this new moon in Gemini. So the Gemini energy is represented by the twins. If you want to go back and listen to when we first entered into Gemini season, the qualities and characteristics of this Gemini energy, I would recommend that you do that. But basically, to summarize, we have to find a happy medium, a balancing point, a new grounding point by the extremes in life. So the Gemini energy presents us with dualistic options, polarized options, extreme options, decisions, ideas, thoughts. And our job through Gemini season is to debate the pros and cons of these extreme points of view in order to find a happy, balanced medium where it is that we're going to operate from here on out. So we have really been doing an inner dance between our heart and our head. We've been doing a dance between our inner realm and our outer realm. We've been doing a dance between our old self and our new self. And again, eclipse energy really threw a wrench into what it is that we thought we were doing. Many of us had a lot of loss, a lot of elements stripped away, mostly because, again, we were overly attached to them. And that was preventing us from actually aligning with a new mission, a new path, a new soul contract, a new timeline. And has really put us in a position where we're now rebuilding. We're now reinventing ourselves, reorganizing, restructuring, rebranding, all of these words, because again, we're in a retrograde. So this particular new moon in Gemini is bringing us closer to that middle ground, closer to making a decision, making that choice, deciding one path over the other, because we've really had to battle it out in the extremes, realizing what it is that we're getting that we don't want, what it is that we're doing that we're no longer in alignment with, what it is that we've created because of our old selves, wants, needs, and desires, and where it is that our higher self, our new self that we're working so hard to actually anchor into this timeline, where it is that we have to let go of some things in order to align with the new mission, the new dream, the new goal that we are now feeling excited about. So this new moon is going to illuminate for us, likely, the dark thoughts and energies and emotions in order for us to use that as a framework to build a list of intentions, a list of seeds, a list of new beginnings and new initiations that we actually want to create for ourselves. And again, out of chaos, out of instability, we are going to find clarity and we are going to find a balancing point. So we have to understand that this is very pressurized in the mental plane because Gemini rules over the lower level intellect of our mental plane where we like to make sense of things, where we're using the outside stimulus in order to paint a picture of our perspective and understanding, and things have changed. This Gemini energy, because it is immutable energy, means that we're easily able to adapt to a new path, a new idea, a new way of looking things, a new way of understanding, a new perspective, if we are given the right kind of information and details, the right kind of experiences in order to justify us changing courses. So yeah, new ideas are going to be popping off. New realizations are going to be coming forth. We are essentially doing this debate in order to lean towards one choice point, one decision, one path over the other. We have new communication skills that need to be recognized and realized. Many of us haven't been speaking correctly because, of course, we're in a retrograde, but a lot of that is because we can't seem to articulate what it is that we're thinking, what it is that we're feeling, even in our inner realms to ourselves. This particular new moon is going to initiate an energy where we're starting to piece things together. We're able now to kind of understand and articulate within ourselves, and therefore be in a better position to express our thoughts, express our emotions and ideas outwardly with confidence and with clarity. This Gemini energy always has us hyper curious. And that's a good thing. We need to be questioning everything right now. We need to be unlearning what it is that we've learned, because most of that was based off of falsities, delusions, and lies. It's a good thing to be questioning everything at this point in time. And because we have been questioning everything, because we're going to continue to question everything and allow curiosity to take us down a different path, we really do have to recognize that being attached to old ideas, being attached to old methods of doing things, old ways of looking at things, old understandings is just hindering the process of our evolution, of our enlightenment. We are going to make some important decisions, some important changes. This is essentially anchoring in the new path, the new direction that now we're excited about taking. And with all the different energies taking place here, we're definitely being supported in getting excited, in cultivating a new spark, a new passion, a new desire. We are trying to get a little bit fired up about initiating a brand new cycle for ourselves. We are rising to the challenges, to the obstacles, to the blockages that we're being faced with. There is this inner warrior spirit that we are now cultivating within us in preparation for the universe to give us the green light go ahead, which we likely won't get until after Mercury goes direct, which is after June 3rd. But of course, we have 2 weeks of post-shadow period energy. So we are going to start looking towards the future, taking actions to build our future, where for the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've been kind of positioned in the here and now, looking back in reflection mode. We have very few aspects taking place under this new moon. So if you're a Moon Guide subscriber, or if you just downloaded it as a one-off in order to do the shadow work and really align with the energies of this of this new moon, my apologies, you're going to see that there are very few aspects. Normally we have, I would say, average 10 different aspects taking place under each moon event. And realistically speaking, there are about 6 different aspects taking place. We have 2 really tough ones. Squares are always a little bit tough. And a lot of this is just because we have a lot of energy in the cosmos pushing us to take action, to make moves that, technically speaking, we're not prepared to make as of yet. So we have this restless, impulsive type of energy, mostly from the Aries placements that we're currently looking at, Mars and Jupiter specifically, are kind of revving us up, pushing us to make a move, to take action that, technically speaking, we're not that well equipped or prepared to make as of yet. We have the great transformer himself, Pluto, in a retrograde, making a very tough aspect with Venus, who is now in her place of power in Taurus, trying to show us where it is that maybe we have to reflect back to the beginning of the year when Venus was in a retrograde in Capricorn energy, doing this dance with Pluto in the underworld, in order for us to remind ourselves what it is that we will not tolerate, what it is we will not go back to, what it is that we want, need, and desire for our emotional selves, for our relationship selves, because we've done a lot of work to boss ourselves up to a new level of confidence and self-esteem. But through this eclipse energy, the uncertainty, the chaos, the craziness, now we're starting to question on whether or not, we have done the work. And so these tougher aspects that are coming forth under this new moon, which is trying to push us forward, is definitely pumping the brakes, trying to slow us down to really make sure that we've learned the lessons that we needed to make in prior situations so that we're not going to repeat the same kind of behaviors in moving forward. We also have Saturn, the Lord of Karma, making a tough aspect with the true node and with Mercury, ruler of this new moon in Gemini, in Taurus. And this is because we have to get very serious on the systems, on the foundations, on the structures that we're building in our lives, our day-to-day tasks, our chores, how we're taking care of ourselves, our money matters, our resources, our relationships, where it is that we're currently lacking stability, lacking safety and security within ourselves, within, the relationship dynamics that have gotten rocked through this eclipse energy. We do have some very positive aspects, though, which are going to help us gain a brand new perspective, bring forth new ideas, really transform the inner psychological process that we've been going through to have these aha moments while reflecting back on the past, integrating them in the here and now, and preparing to use that information, that wisdom, that experience as we blaze a brand new path in moving forward. So this particular new moon event is dominant in Earth energies, as we've been seeing this pattern kind of unfold since the beginning of the year, which means that we're still concentrated on making the changes, the necessary changes and transformations in our physical lives, where our physical circumstances are concerned. This is Earth energy, very focused on our earthly realm. We do have a lot of support coming in from the air energies that's, trying to help us kind of process old information, old perspectives, learn the lesson, have these new ideas, be able to articulate them, be able to share and collaborate with the right kinds of people to get the energy out. All we need to do is have a shift in our perspective and our understanding, and that totally changes the game, not only in the way that we look at past life lessons, but it changes the game for us in the here and now. It totally alters our emotional grid, our mental grid, and it prepares us for taking a different kind of action than we would have taken without these aha moments and realizations reflecting back on the past. Now we're prepared to do things differently, to move differently, to change and alter our mental narrative, our physical circumstances as we're moving ahead, as we're given the green light go ahead by the universe to actually make some of those changes again after Mercury will go direct. And we can't kind of, talk about all of these other aspects without talking about the fact that we just had Mars and Jupiter meet up for the first time in Aries energy for about 12 years. So again, we have a brand new cycle, a brand new beginning, a brand new life lesson unfolding because of Jupiter moving into Aries. Again, go back and listen to that astro forecast if you forget what kind of energy that's going to be giving us for the next little bit. And of course, Mars being in his place of power in Aries, these two coming together is just a powerhouse energy to light a fire within for new passions, new desires, new experiences. We have big dreams, we have big passions, we have big desires that now we're not afraid of actually pursuing. So having this particular aspect pop off just before the new moon actually goes direct, we're just feeding the fire. If you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you've been kind of, rolling with the punches with the analogy of the campfire, right? About oxygen, air energy, fire, which of course is the fire energy. We need to cultivate a healthy balance of ideas, of stimulation, of excitement, of learning, of teaching, of sharing. That's that air energy with the passion, with the desire, with the aggressive actions that we need to take in our physical form, fire energy, in order to actually see something come to life. We want that campfire to be balanced. We want it to stay at a steady flame. We want it to be a safe practice instead of burning the whole freaking forest down. So we have a lot of energies igniting a brand new energy within us, a brand new spark, a brand new excitement, a brand new passion, brand new desire. We're getting all fired up. We're getting the mental narrative and perspective and understanding needed in order to actually take action in our physical lives to pursue these new ideas, this new focus, this new mission, this new purpose. But again, we're kind of stalled out, getting the brakes pumped on us by some of these other aspects because it's not time for us to actually take action and exert ourselves in the path that we're now choosing for ourselves. That will come in about a week's time. We will see a rapid change, a rapid energy take form and push us forward, making up for this quote unquote lost time. I don't want you to think about it as lost time though, because the reflection and the review process as the retrogrades provide us with is absolutely essential to our growth, to our evolvement as we're making plans moving forward to harness our dreams and align with the new soul mission, with the new soul purpose that we're now being inspired to pursue.